Well, welcome back to our July Food Forest video. It's July?
June, July.
I mean, it's the very end of June, almost July, and it is hot in Zone 9, Texas.
Yes, triple digits almost every day. We haven't had rain in about 2 weeks.
Yeah, zero rain and triple digits, I think about 12 days out of 14.
I think that's kind of the new norm the past few years.
Yep, but I think that's also just typical of this area. So we get a lot of rain leading up to this time, and then it gets hot. So we're in that hot time of year, and we'll show you a few things that we're doing to mitigate that. We got a bunch of muscadine grapes that are getting close to, I think they're getting close to being ready. I don't know.
I think these might be ready. Do you want to try one?
They still feel really firm. They're super firm.
Yeah. Man. Patience, right? Our sweet potato forest.
There are a lot.
Aren't these beautiful? These purple flowers.
Like a bouquet. And these are Murasaki sweet potatoes, and they don't seem to love to be on the trellis as much as some of the other varieties we'll show you here.
This is an O. Henry. So if I believe it is a white sweet potato, and it very easily climbs up the trellis. Looks like this. We have some back there that are climbing up the trellis.
So this is an Olympia fig, and it is absolutely ready to go. It is just starting to come into fruit that's ripening, and you can see there's just a fig on every side of every branch. This is an uncountable number of figs. And this thing made so many figs last year, and for so many months out of the year, I feel like it was making fruit 6 or 8 months out of the year. And so that one is an absolute rock star. And another fig that I'm really excited about that has actually never produced fruit is this white Marseille fig. So it didn't make any fruit last year, although it was just a baby. And it supposedly makes fruit in July. And check it out, there is one fig right there. I was doing some research on Marseille fig, thinking, like, when is this thing supposed to produce fruit? And I read a story that Thomas Jefferson brought Marseille figs back to America, and he said that it is the finest fig of all the figs. So I'm pretty excited to taste it for the first time.
We basically have Monticello here in our backyard.
I'm here in our banana grove, actually our soon-to-be banana grove. Let me show you how these things work. So it's best to have bananas grow in groups of 4 generations. And so if you think of this as being the oldest one, and this is
great grandma, right?
Yeah, the second oldest. That's the third oldest, and then the small one back here that you may not be able to see is the 4th oldest. And so you have the daughter, the mother, the grandmother, and the great-grandmother. And that is the 4 generations that will grow in this little clump. And then right here, we have a 5th pup, and that one will become the first mother on another set of 4 as we establish our little banana grove.
Awesome.
It's amazing how much this moringa has grown. And moringa is an absolute superfood. So I'll give you some of the things that make it very interesting. So moringa has all of the essential amino acids, 7 times the potassium as bananas, 4 times the calcium of milk, 7 times more vitamin C than orange, 25 times the iron of spinach. It has magnesium, vitamin B3, it's anti-diabetic, anti-inflammatory, very high in antioxidants, and it's anti-acne. Imagine doing this instead of Accutane. And the way that you process it is you can simply dry the leaves in a dehydrator and then grind them with a coffee grinder or a mortar and pestle, and you can make your own green drink, like your super greens. You know, people are spending a lot of money on super greens, And this is one that you can grow in your own backyard, and it will absolutely make as much greens as you would ever need with a single plant. It died back in the winter and has done this in the spring. It's more than we'll ever use. Elderberry bloom, does it smell good? Oh, it does. It smells real good. It smells like ligustrum.
Oh, I love that smell.
Yeah, or star jasmine. That's our elderberry. An interesting thing I learned about elderberry is that it's allelopathic. And if you don't know what that means, it's basically when a plant gives off certain chemicals that can kill the plants around it. And so I wonder if this is the best spot for it. I think it's gonna be fine. But another plant that's allelopathic, and I'll show you actually the result of it, is this tree over here. Check this out. All right, so if anybody knows what kind of tree this is, I'm trying to figure out what it is. Take a good look at the bark. Y'all comment and let us know if you know what kind of tree this is. I'm convinced that this tree is allelopathic because everything that we plant near it has a really hard time growing. I'll give you an example. This plum tree has just continued to struggle. It's alive, but I think it's being poisoned by that tree.
So I just wanted to show you the sea of cantaloupe. So we have cantaloupe down here at the bottom. We have a little Miss Figgy. This is our LSU fig. It has a little LSU gold, and it's gonna have gold figs. And then back here is the loofah covering the fence, and that'll stay until the frost. And little Miss Figgy, I don't expect figs from this year because, you know, first year and everything. And there's watermelon mixed up into the cantaloupe. They came up voluntarily. And it just kind of looks like this. We have some more back here. And these are our trees that we planted back here. And they're doing just fine. In fact, they're doing so good. Look, we have these Asian pears that are my family's favorite, and they're getting bigger, and they look so great. I'm so excited about them. Here is that rose I showed you before, and it's just doing wonderful. It's climbing up this trellis. And like I said, I am absolutely in love with this variety. It's called the Peggy Martin, and it hasn't disappointed yet. Look, I found a baby watermelon.
So it's very, very hot where we're at right now. We are having triple digits days and days in a row. I think in the last week we've had 6 days over triple digits. And a lot of people at this time of year ask us, how do we keep this place watered? Well, one thing that we do is we keep the ground covered as much as possible. And so this time of year, that's why we have lots of melons and lots of sweet potatoes, because it shades the ground. But we also hand water, or actually we don't have an automatic system at all. We just water very little because we have such a huge amount of water battery in the form of mulch. But we just have these little zones, and we water for about 15 minutes every 3 days, 2 to 3 days.
So yeah, this is our sprinkler, and we just move it. We have a little station right there, upside down bucket essentially. And then I'm gonna go back. You see that little black thing back there? That's station number 3. And so the days that we water, we just go, 15, 15, 15. And it works great. Everybody looks happy and healthy. And I think really...
Well, an important thing to know is that we're not watering every day. What we're doing instead is watering every 3 days, but we're doing a deep watering, so that encourages deep root growth instead of having our plants keeping all their roots at the soil level, because they have easy, abundant water, which then makes them less drought tolerant. So we want the roots to go down, and we do that by deep watering.
So thank you so much for joining us on this Food Forest walkthrough. We really enjoyed having you and telling you about some of the fun things that are happening in the garden.
Yeah, the word of the day, allelopathic, a plant that releases chemicals that kill other plants, and deep watering, and what else?
I don't know. I enjoy the sweet potatoes. They're so beautiful, and the heat just doesn't seem to bother them at
They're
all.
unaffected by the heat, and they also do a great job of covering the ground, which helps to retain more moisture. So it's really everything working together in the food forest in the heat of the summer.
Yeah.
Have a good one.